According to representatives of the Ukrainian government, the Russian army has no chance of seizing back the territories liberated so far by Ukraine. If the Russian forces maintain such a high intensity of firing, it can be assumed that their resources of old Soviet missiles will be sufficient for them by the end of this year. We understand that from a political point of view, it is very much needed by our country. The president ordered the general staff to draw up the plans. We are working now to achieve this goal, but we will not do without outside help. I write letters to my counterparts in partner countries. The generals talk about what weapons we need, and then it turns out that political decisions are ultimately needed. Contrary to announcements of a tactical break for regrouping, Russian troops continue to attack. Last night, several people were killed and several dozen injured as a result of a missile attack in Kharkiv. I woke up in bed, covered in dust. When I went to the bathroom, more debris fell on me. Then I saw the rescuers' floodlights. I started screaming, "I'm alive, please take me out." Lifeguards broke down the door and helped me out. The Russian army is harassing the Ukrainian civilian population in a barbaric way. During the night, Russian missiles also fell on Bakhmut in the Donetsk region. Several residential buildings have been destroyed, and there are still victims under the rubble. There were people in this house, an elderly woman and 2 children. Now there is rubble. Attacks in the Donetsk region in the east of the country have continued since the beginning of the war. At least 15 people were killed and several dozen injured after Russian Uragan rockets hit a 5-story apartment block. The first time they hit, I went to my father's house. Dad just left the bathroom. I looked out at the balcony. Then we felt the second blow. It kicked my dad in one direction and me in the other direction. After the third explosion, we managed to get up. My dad was hit by shards of glass. I spoke on the phone with my daughter who is in Poland. That's when the outburst started. 3 strikes, one after the other. It was all bloody. I have 2 kittens. I wanted to save them, but the explosion knocked me over. And when I woke up, I couldn't find the kittens under the rubble. Later, I spent the whole night on the street because I was afraid that it could be worse in the apartment. The Russian forces are approaching Bilohorivka and shelling the surrounding towns, but they are unable to approach Siversk from the Lysychansk side. More people die in Ukraine every day. Last week, many people mentioned the alleged operational pause in the activities of the occupiers in the Donbass and other parts of Ukraine. 34 Russian airstrikes in the last 24 hours is a clear answer to all those who came up with this pause. The Ukrainian army is holding strong, but much remains to be done if the Russian losses really lead to a break in hostilities. Despite the difficult situation and the fight against an incomparably more dangerous and numerous opponent, the Ukrainians managed not only to repel the attacks, as reported by the South Operational Command of the Ukrainian Army. On Sunday in the Kherson Oblast, 4 Russian ammunition stores were destroyed in a shelling by Ukrainian rocket artillery.